Dhanyawad ji. In fact, I'm not going to give the substitute of the argument of what Sandeep ji has given. It will be complementary or supplementary to his argument, because the definition of Vikasit Bharat itself is being defined by Kautilya way back, almost 3,000 years back. The concept of Vikasit Bharat is Sukasya Moolam Dharma. So each and every person want to be in happy situation, happiest person in his life. Sukasya Moolam Dharma and Dharmasya Moolam Ardha. So dharma is to be dependent on economy, means each and every person's economic situation is to be rising, and there should not be any poverty. We never pray for the daridra, we pray for Ashtalakshmi every time. So that is the basic essence of economy in our country, and that's the reason it will be substitute to what Sandeep ji has narrated. So when we brought out this book Viksit Bharat 2047, way towards self-reliance, and it is not only written by me, and two of the contributors are here in this audience also, Professor Priyesh from Kerala University and Dr. Jaypal from Central University of Karnataka. Both are here, and they have contributed their own papers also. So this book has been divided into 5 sections. That the first one is transforming overall economy. Second one is entrepreneurs insights. Third one is environmental and e-mobility. The fourth one is cultural economy, and fifth one is revival of state governments, state economy. So when it comes to the first section, as we know, the way our country is progressing, where entire world is striving to get 2%, 2.5%, 3% growth rate, our country is registering continuously 7% and more than 7% from last 10 years. And due to COVID-19, it has come down, but it is continuously, consistently registering more than 7% of the GDP over the decade. So it shows the India's consistent rise in the world economy, where world is shrinking in the GDP aspect. So what are the reasons for rising India's economy consistently? Of course, there are structural changes in the economy, structural reforms, as well as processing reforms, as the new government after 2014 has taken up whatever the policies. And structural reforms, of course, it has been taken in 1991. And the processing reforms have been started implementing in 2014 onwards. What is processing reforms? Fitting nuts and bolts for the economy, for the speedy and faster recovery in each and every sector. So wherever the lacunas are there, wherever the hurdles are there for the Indian economy, so immediately the government of India has started revamping that system. And that's the reason economy is striving as per the economists. Being an economist, I also I have to agree. But the pressing point behind these processing reforms is we have to think more beyond economy. The world has produced more than 100 economists as Nobel laureates. But again, these same Nobel laureates have produced more than 400 economic crises. If you look at the global history, economic history, or European history, or Western countries' economic histories, so you will see more than 400 economic crises where more than 100 Nobel laureates comes from those land. But India has not produced any single Nobel laureate except Amartya Sen and Abhijit Banerjee, though they are not based on Indian ethos Nobel laureates. But without having any kind of noble production in economics field, how India is consistently rising with internal strength, that is what important here. So the important strength, what is keeping India's economy in vibrant situation everywhere throughout the world, throughout the country, even in rural areas as well as in urban areas. To keep vibrant situation in Indian economy is our festivals and temples. Without these two, you cannot see any kind of consumer demand index throughout the country. Every month you will get one kind of festival. or every 2 months you will get one kind of festival where your stimulus for spending is automatic. It is organic way of investment or organic way of demanding products in the economic market, and that keeps us vibrant economic situation. If you leave aside our temples and economy from the economic aspect, economic debate, what you have to spend for common or ordinary person in a year, except their birthdays or marriage days, do they spend for anything? But when it comes to Dasara, Deepavali, Sankranti, or any kind of festival, one or other kind of product will be purchased by average household in this country, irrespective of the classes. I'm talking about economic classes. Irrespective of the economic class, everybody tries to spend at least 10 rupees from their household. And in a day-to-day basis, when we want to do some kind of puja, of course, puja is not just sitting in front of God and doing dhyana. There is some kind of economic system for putting oil and cotton and everywhere. So all these things stimulate economic development also, agriculture development also. So this festivals and temples keeps vibrant our economic system without having any noble prize from this soil. We have sustained our economy continuously from the ancient time. That's the reason our country is living civilization with our own ethos and dharma without losing our culture, as Sandeepji narrated in his book also. And when it comes to economic decisions, and of course, we have progressed from the criminalized economic policies to the democratized economic policies. What is criminalized economic policies? When we got independence in 1947, we have adopted socialistic system, assuming that socialism is the only way to address the people for having welfare state. But what it has resulted, the result is corruption, the result is stopping talent, the result is not allowing any innovations, the result is not allowing any kind of industry in the soil, and everybody left this country. And those who graduated from IITs and IIMs left from this country and settled in somewhere else, and they got success. And if anybody want to start their industry, and how much they have to produce, how much quantity they have to produce, how much quantity they have to sell in the market, everything is to be decided by the bureaucrats and government. And no individual has any right to produce anything, no individual has right to do any kind of entrepreneur activity. If anybody starts, then immediately it will be penalized on that particular person. And that is what criminalizing policies to the democratized policies, what I'm saying. So the socialistic era is completely criminalized policies. I hope you might have heard about Dhirubhai Ambani. So Dhirubhai Ambani has produced more than the licensed permit, and immediately Dhirubhai Ambani was penalized, and entire Guru cinema picture was on that episode only. So how come you produce more than the licensed permit? So for producing more, you have to pay tax more, or you have to fine more. So this is the way our industry was being handled, and that's the reason our Indian economic growth from 1947 to till 1980s, it was 2.7 growth rate. Unfortunately, it is called as Hindu rate of growth rate by leftists, K.N. Raj. So it is not Hindu growth rate, it is socialistic growth rate. The socialistic growth rate has called as Hindu growth rate. And after 1991, we have structural reforms where we have brought out globalization, liberalization, privatization into the economic system. And of course, we have started some kind of rising economy in all fields. Of course, again, we have some kind of setbacks because our Indian entrepreneurship, our Indian industry was not ready to prepare all kinds of the imports which were going to happen in 1991. And that's the reason our industry was not ready to pay equal role along with the multinational companies. And that's the reason our handloom industry, handicrafts industry have lost their identity from 1991 to till 2014. And it is the first time who talked about the Indian handicrafts clusters. For the first time in Indian history, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Indian handicraft industry is not just product, it is our culture. Handicraft is imbibed with our culture. The way the art form is being designed in our Lok, which we have presented in our Lok Manthan also. It is our culture identity. In the same way, our handicrafts also being designed to child to play along with imbibing culture. By looking at the toy, the child also will be nurtured some kind of culture which will be sustainable in his own life as well as the global cause. So that is the way of our life, by producing all kinds of commodities. So to promote handicrafts and handlooms, from 2014 onwards, the government of India has taken major steps. And particularly when it comes to khadi, khadi was being into the losses, but after 2014 khadi is into profit situation. Now khadi became brand itself. So this is what nuts and bolts the democratization policy and democratizing economic policies means. Everybody has their equal right to play for the development of country. And second thing, India strength at present is the demographic dividend. More than 50% of the youth is less than 25 years age, and average Indian age group is 29 years. And more than 65% of the age group, more than 65% of the population lives in below 35 years. It means India has lot of capacity to perform, and India has to given opportunities. Means the youth has to be given opportunities to perform and to maintain their own livelihoods in the economic system. And for that reason, whatever the bottlenecks were there till 2014, the Prime Minister of India has settled everything by implementing so many policies. The first one is Jan Dhan Yojana. Jan Dhan Yojana played a major role in Indian economy because till 2014, India's bank inclusive rate was less than 50%. So from 1947 to 2014, all the governments have tried a lot and talked about financial inclusion a lot, but result was nothing. But when Jan Dhan Yojana came, immediately each and every household has given bank account, debit card. So this resulted a change in the Indian economic system. And afterwards, after demonetization, when UPI came, so UPI has played a major role in Indian economy, because each and every person, whether he is literate or illiterate, is part and parcel of formal economic system. Earlier, it was completely informal economy, which the transaction was happening in the hard money. But when UPI has implemented, then immediately each and every person has become part of formal economic system, because every transaction is routed through the bank, and each and every family has been raised to credit worthy. And before that, they were not credit worthy. So banks were not giving any kind of credit to the individual households, and banks were reluctant to give any kind of small scale industries. But when Jan Dhan Yojana implemented and UPI has come, then immediately everybody's credit worthy has increased, and now each and every family is credit worthy when it comes to the banking aspect. So bank inclusiveness has been increased from less than 50% to almost 98% even till now. And the second one is when Russia-Ukraine war is happening. So India was taken neutral stand, neither towards Russia nor Ukraine. So India was handling with both the countries with equal importance. Any kind of nothing was partiality towards Ukraine or Russia, because it is a part of geopolitics. So you have to see the country first approach. So India has taken country first approach. So from Russia we have some kind of benefits, and from Ukraine also we have some kind of benefits, and both are important for us, and we have played equally with both the countries, and we have tried to help both the countries equally. And with this situation, America was not ready, and America was not accepting, and America tried to impose some kind of sanctions on India. And America said, if you be equally with both the countries, then I will not allow you to into the international transaction with the SWIFT. I will take away the SWIFT transaction from you. Then India said, well and good, all the best, we have UPI. And now UPI is playing a dramatic role in the international scenario, and it has addressed all geopolitical problems. If UPI could not there, then we could have surrendered to America's pressure. But when our youth invented UPI, it was not somebody's rocket science studied people invented this UPI scheme, UPI process. It is just 4 5 engineering students from IITs have invented this, and government of India adopted. And with this process means the innovation, the boost up of innovation among the young minds has been pushed by the government of India, and government of India has given equal opportunities to everybody to innovate and to run their own entrepreneurship through democratic process, through the formal process. So that is what the criminalization process to the democratization process. And second thing is environment and e-mobility. So we are talking about environment, but our environment is part and parcel of our country. When we go to the people tree, immediately we say namaskar. When we go to Tulsi, immediately we do namaskar. Means environment is our lifeblood. Protecting environment is our lifeblood. But due to the adopted Western policies, we have ignored or we have forgotten. But it is the time to remember our ethics, our values in protecting environment. Actually, environment economy is not substitute. It is complementary together. They can go together only. But the Western economics always says, if you want to have something, you have to lose the other. But Indian concept, as well as you need not to lose anything, you can go along with. So that is what our concept. The Vikasit Bharat talks about as well as concept. Live along with others. Live and let live concept. And that's what has been bring out in this book also, environmental concept, how to protect environment and how to bring e-products for the sustainability, environmental sustainability, and how to integrate AI, artificial intelligence. The 21st century is going to be led by AI completely, or Internet of Things. So this Internet of Things and artificial intelligence is to be integrated with economy to protect environment as well as to maintain sustainability in the Indian economic system. So during 90s and 80s, we have lost that bus because our young youth could not catch it because of our approaches. The technology will replace employment, our computer will replace the youngsters' employment. Like that, the kind of narrative we have developed, and we stopped some kind of, we showed some kind of hesitancy in adopting the technology. But it is a time for Indian youth to lead AI throughout the world. So the second part of the book talks about the want to discuss much about the cultural economy because already Sri Sandeep Singh ji has narrated, but I want to bring two important issues. I have conducted some kind of survey, the primary survey in Telangana temples, Basara Saraswati temple, Vemlawada Rajarajeshwara Swami temple, Yadadri temple. So in all these temples, our observations, I along with my students have conducted survey in these three temples. And another two temples we are going to conduct in Bhadrachalam as well as in Chulukuru Balaji Swami temple. How temples play an important role in economic boosting. Whenever a person's income increases, the marginal propensity to consume, the consumption index, how it increases. So whenever a person goes to temple, he is not only spending from his pocket, he is part of culture, part of dharma, and making somebody to become live. Somebody's entrepreneurship become live. So X expenditure becomes Y income in economics. In the same way, here culture is integrated. And that's the reason through culture, through dharma, our economy is being sustained, our economy is being vibrant situation throughout the years from the ancient time. And when I had the interaction with one of the 10th class failed person in Vemlavada, he is multi-level skilled person. Of course, he was failed in 10th class. He was putting tikka to me whenever you go to Tirumala Darshan. Immediately after coming back from the Darshan, somebody will come and put tikka. 3 namas. So if you ask that person how much you earn in a day, he will tell. In the same way, I asked one person in Vemlavada who put tikka. Then he told me that through tikka, I earn minimum 1200 rupees in a day. Will you demand anybody? No, I will not demand anybody. Everybody will give me out of respect or out of voluntary. Means it is not prized. It is out of devotion. That is what dharma. So dharma has many forms. So in each situation, dharma has its own form. You cannot define dharma. What is dharma? So every time, for every person, for every situation, dharma situation changes. So here, when a person put tikka out of emotion or out of karuna, you will give some kind of money, and through that kind of money, a single person's earning per day is 1200 rupees. 10th class fail person. And I asked, what else you do along with this? Then he took me to his store, where he has just 4x4 one wheel, what you call pull-up cart. So in that cart, he made some rings, some bronze items, different items, which are again you can use for the dharmic activities or cultural activities, or you can use for your ring or bracelet kind of thing. Nothing is waste. I asked who manufactured this. He said, I, myself and my wife. We both do. So how much you earn from this? I not only sell this through my pull-up cart, I also give somebody else as a manufacturer. So per month I earn 60,000 rupees through these bronze items. Means a 10th class failed person per month he is earning more than 70,000 rupees just beside the temple. If somebody asks me how much employment is created through temple, I can say a small temple like Rajaraja Swami temple in Vemlavada. The Vemlavada temple alone is giving livelihood indirectly more than 3,000 families. So if you want to discuss about the caste, religion, everybody is there, including Muslims. Muslims are running their stores by having puja material. So my request, those who ask how much economy is being created, how much employment is being created to temple, you just take them to Vemlavada temple. Let them observe. So a small temple in Vemlavada gives more than 3,000 families livelihood. So 3,000 families means you can multiply with 4 persons. 12,000 people just because of temple city, Vemlavada is getting livelihood. And not only this 12,000 people who are putting stalls, or 3,000 families who are putting stalls. There are autos, there are cars, there are hotels, there are persons who gives rent rooms during the peak season of the darshan. So if you compare entire economic system of a small temple, you will come to know at least more than 5,000 families are getting direct benefit out of temple. Just a small temple. I'm not talking about Kashi, Varanasi, or Ayodhya or Tirupati. If you go to Tirupati, Kashi, Varanasi, Jammu, that is different scenario. Likewise, I have studied in Basara. How Basara is being created impact on the livelihoods of the Basara village. Anybody knows Basara without temple? Nobody knows. Basara known by temple, Ma Saraswati. So, because of Ma Saraswati, that village is getting livelihood and the village is getting revenue. If you keep temple away from the village revenue, then village is nothing. Village will have, like other villages, poverty and all, because the kind of policies we have adopted so far is the result poverty, corruption and all of the result of this kind of policies which we have adopted. But the temples maintain the sustainability of Indian economy. And the fourth one is revival of economy of the states. Most of the people believe that that model of economy means Kerala model. My friends are there from Kerala. If you look at the Kerala model, you just ask if anybody says Kerala model of economy, what is Kerala model of economy? Is there an improvement in agriculture? Is there an improvement in industry? Is there an improvement in tourism? Is there an improvement in service sector? Is there an improvement in employment? Then what is Kerala model? If you ask these questions, answer will be no. But what is Kerala model? Kerala model is nothing but narration. They will say the livelihoods, or they will say the health conditions. Health conditions are because of the family system. It is not because of the government. The Ayurveda and the way they followed the traditional food and medicines are because of the families. Nothing from the government. But the government collapsed Kerala's existing economic system. Actually, nothing is Kerala model. If I am wrong, please excuse me. Both the professors are from Kerala. So Kerala model is negative growth rate of agriculture, negative growth rate of industry, negative growth rate of service sector, full of migration. No youngster lives in Kerala. No educated person lives in Kerala. Only old persons lives in Kerala, and for them ghost tax will be there. Just recently, government of Kerala has thinking to impose ghost tax, means those who have vacated house, means unoccupied house, have to pay the tax because it is burden to somebody else. Like in Uttarakhand, Congress government wants to put toilet tax. In the same way, Kerala government also want to put ghost tax. So, Kerala model of economy is nothing. That's what Priyesh brought out in his article, in this book. Likewise, remaining other states also. Every state has their own strength. Like Telangana has also its own strength in handloom activities, handloom clusters. Handloom clusters have to be revived for the sustainability of the livelihood as well as the economy. So, like this, most of the aspects of the economy have been covered in this book. So, I request everybody to go through. And economy is not just talking about the livelihoods, it is the integration of dharma, culture, and that is also brought out in this book. As we have the ancient welfare economic sutra, that is Sarve bhavantu sukinaha, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kashchit dukkha bhadave. Welfare economics we teach in economic theories, but the sloka, it is there from the Vedas time, means the economic basic concept is making everybody happy, sukhina, and free from all kinds of diseases, and everyone should enjoy their life.
This is what all about the life. So that is what all about the economy. And with this aim, this book also has been brought out. Thank you, one and all.